Why do we become addicted to toxic relationships even if it really harms us? Today we are going to talk about this question and we are going to dive right in straight away. Toxic relationships can lead to emotional dependency. But why is it like this? Because when you're in a toxic relationship, there's this constant high and low, and the cycle of love and affection, that is the high. You get a lot of love, you get a lot of affection, and then this low of constant stress. Maybe this person doesn't even talk to you. This is the low of the relationship. And you constantly try to get back to this high. It makes you emotional dependent. And your partner, maybe he's even a narcissist and he's using you because of that, because he knows that you are addicted to it. And because it's absolutely unpredictable when the high or the low comes, you get addicted to it because you are constantly in this rush. You want it back, the high of the relationship, the love, the affection that feels so good. You want it back. And you're in this low. You try to get back to the high. Maybe after some time of conflicts and stress, you are in this high and you are absolutely full of dopamine. You love this feeling. And then it gets into the low again. And it's a constant cycle that is repeating itself. And you get addicted to it. What's also possible is that the person's self-worth gets tied to the relationship. So the person thinks that they are absolutely nothing without this relationship. This is also because the person is emotional dependent to the relationship. Another very important aspect is trauma bonding. And trauma bonding means that the person that is in this toxic relationship forms a really deep connection to the person that is mistreating them or is abusing them. But why do they get this addiction to it? Because in their childhood maybe they had parents that were also abusing them. So it also feels normal to them. And you are in this trauma that you already have from your past, from your childhood. You got abused. You were constantly in conflict. And then there's a person who's also treating you like this. And you are bonded to this person. You are reliving your trauma again, but only with another person. Another very important aspect is intermittent reinforcement. That means that the toxic partner is giving them love and affection only a little bit, like really sporadically. They don't know when the next love or affection comes. So the person who's trauma bonded to the toxic person tries to get this love, get this affection, because they don't know when they will get the affection. So they also get addicted to it because they never know when the next drop of affection comes. And the love is really unpredictable. So most of the times it's just abuse and stress, and the love is only a little part of the relationship. But the person gets so bonded to the one who's abusing them because it's the trauma that they are reliving from their childhood. Their parents may treat them bad and they were also in a constant conflict. So the trauma that they have from the past, they are reliving it again and again and again with partners. They also attract these type of partners. So if you feel like you are maybe having trauma bondings to people, you really need to heal yourself in order to live a really good life with a good partner. Otherwise, you will always attract people that are abusing you, mistreating you, and you are in this trauma bonding with them. People with low self-esteem are in relationships even though the relationship is not good for them, even though their partner is toxic, even though they are maybe abused or whatever, but they stay in this relationship because they have zero self-worth. They think, if I'm going to leave this partner, I'm not going to find another one. There is no one that will love me. I'm not worthy. I don't deserve a happy relationship. So they stay with this person, even though they are absolutely unhappy, even though they are feeling bad, they are staying with them because they think they don't deserve someone better. And that's because they lack self-worth. Especially narcissists love these type of people because they have low self-esteem. And narcissists love people with low self-worth because they can manipulate them easily and they can really manipulate them into thinking that this narcissistic person is the best partner they would ever have in their life. And also I'm going to tell you something about me. I was also in a relationship with a narcissist when I was younger. And he was absolutely no one. And he manipulated me in this way of thinking that he is the best. Because I was also really young and I didn't have a clue about anything. And these narcissistic people, they can turn you around, and even though they are nothing, you start to think that they are everything. So that's also a really, really big thing. You need to work on your self-worth. Only if you start loving yourself and thinking to yourself that you deserve the best, you are not going to be manipulated that easily by narcissists. So also something really interesting is the neurological aspects of a toxic relationship and why we get addicted to it. So I'm going to talk about it now. There are different hormones like cortisol. Cortisol is our stress hormone. So if we are in a conflict or in constantly stressed because we have a toxic relationship and we are just in conflict with our partner, a lot of cortisol is in our body. But then there's also dopamine. Dopamine lets us feel good. It's like a drug. So in these moments of love and intimacy, we release a lot of dopamine and it makes us addicted. Dopamine lets us feel good and it has similar effects to our brain like addictive substances. So we constantly want to get this dopamine back. And when there's stress and also dopamine, it's like survival and reward. Our brain is constantly in this survival and reward mode because there's stress, survival, survival. And then there's this reward. It's the dopamine that gets released when there are moments of love. And we are constantly in the cycle again, and it makes us addictive. Fear of abandonment. This is rooted in your childhood. If you had parents that were never really there for you and that neglected you or didn't care about you, you have a constant fear of abandonment. Because since you're growing up, you are left alone. And this could also lead to lack of self-worth. So you have no self-worth or not much self-worth, and then you also have this constant fear of abandonment. So you cling to this partner. You need this partner. You are so in fear that you get abandoned, that you stick to him no matter what, or to her no matter what, and this also gets you addictive and into this toxic relationship where you will never get out. One thing that I mentioned before is familiarity. Because when you grew up in a toxic environment, in a toxic family, where you were constantly in this conflict and then maybe you get a little bit of love and it's so normal for you and it also feels safe to you because you are used to it, right? If you would have a relationship then that is not like this, you are not used to it, so it may feel not alright for you to be in a relationship that is peaceful and not toxic. So you are maybe even looking for a toxic relationship because it's familiar to you. You know it. In your childhood it was also like this. There was conflict, there was a lot of stress, this constant survival and reward mode, and you are craving for that. And maybe even if you meet someone then that is not toxic, that will treat you good, you will always try to look for this toxic relationship. Something else that I notice a lot in women is that they think they can change someone if they stay a long time with them or if they give them all their love and they think, yeah, I can change him. I will give up my whole life just for him and I will save him. And this is so bad because you think you can change someone. But it's not your responsibility to save this person or to make this person a better person. If this person is toxic and he's treating you bad or she's treating you bad, then you should leave. It's none of your business to save this person or to make this person into a better partner. Because maybe, eventually, if you could change this person, I don't believe in that because the change needs to come from the person itself. You cannot change someone. I really believe that the person needs to change themselves in the beginning first. Because if you want to change someone, you will just force the person. And force is nothing that leads to change, to a consistent change. So because you think you can change this person, you will stay with the person, give up your whole life, and it's also okay for you that this person is treating you bad because you think, yeah, if I stay with them for a long time, they will change. No, darling, they will not change, and it's not your responsibility. Go and live your life, find someone that really loves you and appreciates you. So as you can see, there are many different reasons why we could get addicted to toxic relationships. A lot of that is rooted in our childhood. So if you had a childhood that is full of conflict, toxic parents, you see a lot of abuse, you get abused, you are really in this danger of getting addicted to a toxic relationship very fast. There are also a lot of people that maybe had a really good childhood, where the parents were in love with each other, they were treating each other good, and there was not abuse or conflict. And they will maybe don't even attract people that are toxic because they don't crave for it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people crave for relationships or friendships that are familiar to the things that they know. Because if there would be something new, someone that will treat them good, they don't know it. It's really weird for them. It's not a good feeling for them. Even though the toxic person harms them, they will still try to look for the toxic relationship. So this was it with my video today. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel. And we are going to see each other in the next video. Bye bye!